Thank you. Whoa. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me begin by thanking the great New Hampshire Democratic Party for all that they do for working families in this state. Let me thank Ray Buckley for the great job that he does. And let me say a word to every person in this room, regardless of who you are supporting in this nomination process. I want to congratulate all people here for doing what is a difficult thing to do. That is to spend considerable amounts of time and energy trying to make this country a better place in which to live and work. Thank you all. And let me also say to every person in this room that on our worst day, we are 100 times better than any of the Republican candidates on their best day. And let me say a special thanks to the many thousands of volunteers who have worked so hard on our campaign. We started this campaign quite far behind. With your help, we have made great progress, and I appreciate all that you have done. I also want to thank the many unions and organizations, too many to name, for their support. And I mention, among many others, the Communication Workers of America, the United Nurses United, and the American Postal Workers Union, and the New Hampshire State Employees Association. And I want to thank MoveOn.org for their support, Democracy for America, and many other grassroots organizations. Our campaign has had a great deal of energy and enthusiasm, and I think the reasons are pretty obvious. We are talking about the issues that working families and the middle class are concerned about. We are talking about ending a corrupt campaign finance system. American democracy is not about Wall Street and billionaires buying elections. American democracy is about one person, one vote. That's what New England is about. So here is a promise I make to every person in this arena. If elected president, no nominee of mine to the Supreme Court will get that position unless he or she is very clear they will vote to overturn Citizens United. We will address the rigged economy that so many of working people are suffering under right now. It is not acceptable to me that at the same time as we have the highest rate of childhood poverty of any major country on earth, we also have more income and wealth inequality than any other major country on earth. So I say to the billionaire class, we are going to create an economy that works for working families, not just the people on top. If elected president, we are going to raise the minimum wage to a living wage, $15 an hour. We are going to end the disgrace of women making 79 cents on the dollar compared to men. And we will have pay equity for women workers in this country. We are going to rebuild our crumbling infrastructure and create millions of decent-paying jobs. We are going to reform our disastrous trade system. And we are going to tell corporate America, start investing in this country, not just in China. And in the year 2016, we are going to say that public colleges and universities should be tuition-free. I want every child in this country, kids who grew up in families like mine, where my mom and dad never went to college. I want those kids in Manchester, New Hampshire, and in Burlington, Vermont, to understand that if they do their schoolwork seriously, if they do their homework, and if they are serious students, yes, they will be able to get a college education regardless of the income of their families. And to all of those people in our country, some young and some not so young, people who are now being crushed by outrageously high levels of student debt, relief is on the way. We will give those millions of people today sometimes paying 25% of their income in student debt. We are going to lower interest rates to make your debt more bearable. And to the the senior citizens of New Hampshire and of America, many of whom are trying to get by on $11,000, $12,000, $13,000 a year in Social Security. I understand, you understand, that people cannot get by on $11,000, $12,000, $13,000 a year. Now, my Republican colleagues, they say we should cut Social Security. We say we should expand Social Security benefits. And we are going to do that by lifting the cap on taxable income. And to the large multinational corporations who continue to believe that it's okay for them to put their billions of dollars in profits in the Cayman Islands and in Bermuda and in other tax havens, we've got news for you. You are going to start paying your fair share of taxes. And to the CEOs on Wall Street, the people whose greed and recklessness and illegal behavior drove this economy into the worst recession since the 1930s, who were bailed out by the middle class of this country, who were bailed out because the banks were too big to fail, but today, in many cases, are bigger than when we bailed them out. We are going to re-establish a 21st century Glass-Steagall and when 6 major banks have assets of almost 60% of the GDP of this country, yes, we are going to break them up. And to the pharmaceutical industry, which charges us the highest prices in the world for the medicine we need, who have created a situation in which 1 out of 5 Americans are unable to buy the medicine their doctors prescribe. We say to them, your days of raising prices off the charts are over. And to the 11 million people in our country who are undocumented, who are living in the shadows, who are fearful about being deported, we say, we share your pain, and we are going to pass comprehensive immigration reform. And when this country shamefully has more people in jail than any other country on earth, we say there will be real criminal justice reform. We are going to invest in education and jobs for our kids, not jails and incarceration. And when we talk about criminal justice reform, we say that we are tired of seeing unarmed people shot down by police. What we are saying is that a police officer who breaks the law, like any other public official, must be held accountable. That we must demilitarize local police departments. And that we must make police departments all across this country look like the diversity of the communities they serve. Now, I have been criticized because I believe that all of our people in this great country are entitled to health care. So let me be as clear as I can. I confess, I believe that health care is a right of all people, not a privilege. I believe that the Affordable Care Act, which my committee I'm on, helped to write, has done some extraordinarily good things. We should be proud of that. But I believe we can go further, and I believe that we should move toward a Medicare for all single-payer program. Now, what leadership is about is not just swimming with the current. It's not just coming aboard ideas when there is majority support for those ideas. Way back before it was fashionable in the early 1990s, Congressman Bernie Sanders opposed NAFTA and other trade agreements. I want corporate America to invest in this country, create jobs in this country, not just in China. In 1996, when it was not popular, I voted against the so-called Defense of Marriage Act. That was not a popular vote at that time, but I believed then, and I believe now, that people have a right to love whoever they want, regardless of their gender. late 1990s, when all kinds of people in this country, Republicans and yes, some Democrats, said we should deregulate Wall Street. What a great idea it would be if commercial banks and commercial banks and investor banks and insurance companies could merge. I didn't think it was such a good idea. Help lead the opposition to deregulation. In 2002, the most important debate in recent history on foreign policy took place. George W. Bush, Dick Cheney, Donald Rumsfeld, they said it was a good idea to invade Iraq. I listened very carefully to what they said. I didn't believe them. I not only voted against that war, I helped lead the opposition to that war. Leadership is about standing up and being counted when the times are rough, even when you are in a minority situation. But leadership is also producing the goods, passing legislation that impacts the people of New Hampshire, Vermont, and in America. And I'm very proud that a few years ago, as chairman of the Veterans Committee, I helped pass the most comprehensive veterans health care legislation passed in the modern history of this country. That legislation not only helped millions of veterans all over this country get better access to VA health care, it was of particular benefit to the veterans of the state of New Hampshire. Because we put some special language in that bill to benefit New Hampshire veterans. And I am proud that as part of the Affordable Care Act, we got $12 billion in it to expand community health centers in New Hampshire and in Vermont and all over this country. I'm proud that we passed one of the most significant pieces of environmental legislation, putting billions of dollars to help communities become more energy efficient and move to sustainable energy. Let me conclude by saying this. No president, not Bernie Sanders or anybody else, can bring about the changes that the middle class and working families of this country desperately need. And the reason for that is that the powers that be, Wall Street, corporate America, the corporate media, the Koch brothers, the large campaign donors, are so powerful that the only way we create the change that we need is through a political revolution. And that means that millions and millions of people throughout our country, including many who have given up on the political process, many who think their vote, their voice no longer matters. Those people have got to re-engage politically, working people, low-income people, young people, and with a loud voice, that's a loud voice. And with a very loud voice heard on Tuesday in New Hampshire and heard all over this country, the voice which says that this government of ours, fought and defended by so many men and women who prepared to put their lives on the line, this government of ours belongs to all of us, not a handful of wealthy campaign contributors. Thank you all very much.